the start of a new week, Sunday afternoon as it is, and it's not been too bad. Saturday was deathly quiet. Total crickets, definitely. Since the account integration, it feels slow. I don't know why, it just feels slow. Numerically, it's not. The amount of orders has been ticking along, but it feels kind of slow. I don't know why. Maybe that's just perception, or maybe it's because Brick Owl has been so quiet. In fact, this is the first order in a few days on Brick Owl. As you can hear, the voice is still a little bit weird, but antibiotics are on board, steroids are on board, RFJ, whatever your name is. Check that out. Hey, I'm not scared. Who's taking medical advice from a guy that sounds like he's on a come down? Anyway, 8 parts in total on Brick Owl as well. Gone parcel rate, so whatever. Dark blue grey, light blue grey. Black, predominantly black, light blue grey, and then a whole assortment of other colours in that one. I don't know, it kind of has some kind of modular feel to it, but I could be wrong. This one was a joy to pick. Just all little planty things, really. I really enjoyed picking that one. Very colourful, happy, that one, isn't it? Contrast, a little bit of dark blue, light blue, white in there. Very orderly, as is this one. God knows what it is, but interesting enough. 3 astromechs in this. We've got an R2 and then 2 of the others, don't know the names. A couple of canopies and a few parts in that one. And domestic letter. Curious that Bricklink thinks that goes under 2 centimetres. I count it as not, but anyway, there you go. Squeeze it into the box, it should work okay, but very select parts in that one. And there we have it, 7. It's not bad at all, which is good. Said antibiotics. Lovely. Some people might have seen online me on Facebook anyway, talking about and not have a clue what it is. That URL, I need to redirect that to the new website, but for a long time I was a kind of music type person, and these are old mixes from 2023 which I'm now returning to YouTube ahead of doing some new ones here and there. Nothing like it was before, just for my own pleasure musically. So if you're looking for some musical interlude, head over to Pals, I think it's called, or Records. I can't remember which one it is now. I'll put the link down below. If you like a little bit of deeper underground house, that could be your new picking theme tune. There's plenty of mixes up there from me and other people. Anyway, by the by, really, isn't it? The dashboard has had a bit of a makeover. I've been working through this, especially the road to 1 million. We had kind of this original target of 750 by the end of the year, and then so the graph kind of flattened out because we'd reached it already. So I've recalibrated this to just run through to July, when the aim was to hit 1 million, which means technically we're a little bit behind on the inventory now, whereas we were ahead before. So blue is the original target, which we are way ahead, and green is the new target, which kind of was good, and it flattened out, and now it's got a nice curve to it, and then it ramps up at the end for some reason. And then the actual inventory is the grey line. I may switch these around so it's a bit more easy to see. And other than that, that meant that all of the other calculations get rejigged. The 5%, the 34 target revenue, the 12% expenditure, the 15% postal revenue, all of these things get rejigged, but these are all formulas that kind of work themselves out amongst different bits and pieces. So nice, which has meant I've been able to update the actual dashboard itself. Still trying to figure out what this last metric will be. What are we sitting at? Average percentage sold is 4.1 at the moment, 34.75 hasn't changed. Neither of those changed, neither is that, because we haven't done the monthly ends. But what have I added down the bottom? That's where I've added some things. Uploads is still there, the inventory Yeah, that's updated, but these are the new ones. Buyer locations, I don't know whether I've showed you this before already. This is to the end of August, but WA now, the top of the shop, WA, Victoria and New South Wales. And the year-on-year average is, there you go, there's the year-on-year average. What though? Got to figure that out. Where's the data reference? Year-on-year average, weekly average. Alright, it's the weekly averages. So as you can see, 2025's weekly average is significantly more than 2024's weekly average. And whilst the sales numbers kind of fluctuate, the averages are way higher, which would suggest people buying more, which is a good one. And then year-on-year sales, obviously 2024 was a full calendar year, but 2025 is where we are sitting behind. So we did 2,100 sales in 2024 and we're at 1,360 at the, is that, where does that one draw from? Is that month end? Yeah, that only comes from the month end, so there's nothing to really see yet. It will change at the end of the month as opposed to week on week, but interesting all the same. Other one I'm thinking of adding to this is the split between PayPal and Stripe. I think that might be interesting just to see that side by side, but there you go. Where are we at? That's 2025's weekly sales. Obviously last week was a bit of a stinker because we were closed, but not too bad all in all. And this week should be back up to these heights, which is incredible really, given that, as I say, it's felt like it's down. And having watched Pop's Block Shop this morning, I know his sales were kind of off the boil as well. I think a lot of people have been deterred by the whole needing to sign up, and to be fair, I get a bit frustrated every time I log back in and I've got to do the whole what year were you born and then log in with your login and stuff like that. It's a bit annoying. I get the security, I'm all on board for that, but it's just added a little bit of extra to do, hasn't it? So postage labels are all done for these. The post office was shut yesterday. I hope the guys at the shop are okay. They're always open on a Saturday, but I know Bobby has had some trouble with her hip, so hopefully she's okay. Maybe she needed to take some time. We shall see. Probably see them on Wednesday now. But anyway, this can be added to the pile for Tuesday because tomorrow is a public holiday here. So whilst it's not in the rest of Australia, it is here in WA. So that will be interesting to see what that does in terms of sales for WA versus other states. Who knows? But it might mean that we do a part out tomorrow. Might do that camper van one tomorrow, just to keep some things moving along. We're about 5,000 parts down on where we need to be by month end, and we're at the 28th. How many days are they in the month? 30. So there's only 2 days. So if I don't put 5,000 parts in tomorrow, we're going to be behind on the new target, even though we were ahead. But adjustments. Right, I'm off to sort that out, get that packed away, and then we'll see if anything else turns up through the rest of the day. But otherwise, we'll be back here in the morning. Monday, bank holiday, public holiday. What do they call them everywhere else in the world now? Anyway, it is what it is. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to Monday 29th of September, the final throes of the month. We are starting at 762, 689, which is up about almost 10 grand on last month, but we're almost 100 lots down. That lot count has been taking a bit of a pounding, hasn't it? Something we need to address moving forward. In terms of what that week has looked like, yeah, it's a bounce back week, that's for sure. The average sale, the average level, should I say, is back up, and the order quantity is at, from our 26 sample stores, is back at 687, which is up there. It's kind of a fairly consistent above that 675 kind of mark for the kind of the largest, most selling stores that we follow. I haven't done this week's average yet, but I was above the average, which was good. I did 32 sales, even though we were kind of shut for any of that week. I don't think so. I think that's a normal week for me anyway. Uploads, where are we? Parts added and uploaded. Last week we added 16,743, 103 lots. Obviously all of those were not new and unique, but that's what we achieved last week. And interestingly, that means that this is where we sit today. 2 days to go. Target upload was 53,815 for the month. We have done 51,498, which leaves us 2,317 short, which is what I'm going to try and do today. I'm actually going to try and do some parting out, and everyone knows how much I love parting out. Sales wise, quiet as a mouse. There was one overnight, which was 2 types of black jumper plates and 2x2 bricks, and some slopes and tiles and things in light blue grey. There is no postage here in WA today because it is a public holiday, so that's okay. Can't do anything with those. But what it does mean is that we do have no excuse to be not to be parting out, and there's all sorts that we could choose to do. There's a bit of one-off sets. There's what else is in here? These are really all gift with purchases sitting up here, but there are some other things. There's a couple of Lone Ranger sets, whether I should kind of do those or not, I don't know. But the ones that I'm thinking about parting out are really living down here. So what have we got down here? This C3PO has been kicking around for a long time. He is 1,138 of those parts. And then the other one that's been here for a while is this, what do you call it, camper van, which is 385. I've got 3 of those, so that takes us to another 1,000. So those two between them will take us pretty damn close to the part out, and then we could just chuck some parts in like that. What else is down here? I think most of the stuff that's down here is all gift with purchase. A whole lot of Space Babies. What's that? Ahsoka's thing. A K2SO buildable figure, the original one. We've got a lot of Snow Trooper battle packs, although they're probably decent just as they are, but you never know. Could chuck a couple of them in. What have we got there? Snails, space stations, Sega controllers. What's underneath all? Oh, that's all snails, isn't it? So yeah, C3PO and the camper van, hot on that agenda, and then maybe some of these battle packs. There's a couple more there that could get chucked in. These Formula Ones are mine. Or so nice thought. What else is down here? We've got a couple of those kicking around. Notre Dame's in the back there, but that's for me as well. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're up to. I could always chuck a couple of gifts with purchases if I need to make it inroads. But I think we'll go with this one first. We've got 3 of these, as I said, to part out. So that could be first. Challenge of the day, 385 times 3. You work that out. It's over 1,000, isn't it? It will get us pretty close. So that's what we'll do. Had a really cool question from Remco Spans, who's over in Holland, and it's not one I can really cover in the chit chat, but he was asking what kind of system do I have for my parts? Do I put one type of part, type and colour in the small drawers, and when they no longer fit there, do they go in the larger drawer? When they no longer fit there, do they switch to the plastic boxes? And it's not really one I can just kind of explain easily, so it's a bit of a walkthrough. Come store tour. So small drawers were what I started with, a mixture of, I had a couple of those and a couple of these larger ones, and I had some of those boxes down here for bits that didn't fit in either of those. And the way I kind of did it to start with was, I kind of mixed things up. It's become less so, but you've kind of got similar parts. What have we got there? We've got some pearl, we've got some flat silver, we've got some blue and some red, and they became kind of like that. Or if you had lots of stuff like that, it's just too many locations for a small store footprint. Ideally you'd have these all in separate things, and at this point I was only using the spotlight drawers, which you could only divide in two with that little section there, as you saw in there. Actually, let's find one that's divided in two there. So it's all you had really. So whilst there's 90 drawers, is it 60 drawers, something like that, anyway, you've only got 120 spaces unless you mix them, and as a small store that becomes quite difficult. But when you've got similar small parts, you know, you're not doing crazy size orders, it becomes quite easy to operate, and that's kind of what I did. So you'll find some things are mixed up and other things are separated out, and that kind of suffices until, from my operating model, you find something that sells regularly, frequently, or is a good seller, and then it would move into a big drawer. For instance, a light blue grey slope, jumper plates, there's one that's all together, but there's one that's mixed because they're not that frequently used. Similarly, colours that aren't that frequent, some colours that are frequently picked. And then amongst that also I have kind of drawers where it's just printed bricks. So they're all individual. There's no way you could have a whole single location for all of those things. And then, you know, things get to a point where you've got more of them than you probably needed, or sorry, you had more of those that would fit in one of the drawers. And then I'd seen a German store using these boxes from IKEA, and what I did with these was have them mixed as well, which you know, everyone has a viewpoint on that, whether or not that's efficient or quick to do. But for me, it was an opportunity to have volume, but in a smaller space, and equally be able to pick through it. That said, some have gone into single source locations, and if you've been following the vlog, you will know that this is what I've been working towards for frequently selling parts, where they're all in a 2L container all by themselves. But equally, there are things that are slow moving like those, where you've only got 2 or 3 colours. No point in having them all in separate locations. Similarly with those kind of things, they're easy to pick, it's not a deal breaker. Some of them I've got mixed up, but if I've got a quantity of some and I don't want a location, I must have picked those up real cheap, so I've just got them and they're in a bag within a bag. Now the 5 litres started out like these two, where it was just, there was a lot of different colour variants of a similar part, all of these in fact. 2x4s, obviously there's a million different colourways, so we've got kind of like the less frequently visited colours in there. Some of those are bagged within that. Then you've got the more popular colours, or the ones that kind of stand out against each other to help picking, like never have reddish brown and dark red together because they're difficult to see if you haven't got perfect light. But there are mixed ones here, but equally there are ones that are kind of thinned out, so they're really Star Warsy colours. So black, dark blue grey and light blue grey in there. I would like to separate the black and the dark blue grey out of there. Or you have a box where it's all one colour of something, so they're all white bricks, they're all 4x4 plates in there, they're all 2x4 plates in there, and that goes on and on and on. So really the system was just allowing me to create volume of parts, quantity, without needing a huge space. So has it become a problem? Sometimes it's become a problem, and at that point I've kind of separated things out, and if you've been following along you'll have seen when that happens, something ends up becoming a pain to pick, or you run out of it, you sell out of it and you're replacing it and it gets its own location after that. So much more of this kind of side of things where we've evolved. These are all, there's very little mixed up here. There are some kind of legacy things that are mixed up, very rarely go in that drawer for instance, but everything else on this run is pretty much single source location. And similarly all the way down here, all of this is single source stuff. So that allows quantity, it allows easy picking, and the drawers themselves, these ones that I use, there are obviously 15 slots in here, and generally they're all individual in there. Sometimes you pop something on top of something because where else are you going to put it? But as you can see, sometimes it goes over two sections. They're mixed, but they're easy to kind of pick amongst. And as you can see, it's kind of spacing that one. I need to put a sticker on the front so I can see it. I mean, that's a bit of a waste of space, isn't it? It needs to sit within something else. But otherwise, everything is in its own location, apart from the things that go into bigger drawers. And these tend to be things that don't fit in those drawers. Minifigures are all bagged by theme. Plates are mixed up so they're easily identifiable, whether it's a 6 by 12 or whatever it is. And then there are bigger parts, door frames, what else, canopies and things like that, all bagged and labelled within these 10-litre boxes, which pretty much gives me the full gambit. We go from having 2 in a drawer in these ones, and in some of these Kmart, are they Kmart? Yeah, I think they are Kmart drawers, aren't they? Let me find one that's got one split into 3. That might not be as easy as it sounds now. Da, 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 da. 2, 1. I'm not going to find one that's split into 3 now, am I, easily? There's a 2, there's a 2. Oh, come on. Yeah, sod's law. 2 as well. There's a 3. There's a hole in it. So these ones you can split into 3, which is, you know, probably a bit more towards what Acro Mills can do. And there's actually 3 slots, so you could split it into 5 if you had tiny pieces, but that allows you to create more locations, which this entire wall has allowed me to do. And in fact, this one and that one are both those Kmart drawers, so there is much more opportunity to split. I won't be able to find a 3 again now. Oh. You get the idea. There's a 3. Which means you take a 60 drawer thing into 180 drawers, which potentially, depending on the volume you've got of things. And that's pretty much the system. There's obviously overflow as well. So I have kind of these bins which are parts that don't fit anywhere else, or they're too big, or there's too many. Yeah, so this is all overflow. Sitting up here now. Sorry, that's parts. This is overflow, and that is overflow of parts, and there's another few bins down there. I'm not going to open that side of the drawer. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it works. It's just allowing me to be flexible in a very small footplate. What is it, 200 and something square feet, as opposed to, you know, some other stores which have got an awful lot of space for lots and lots of drawers and lots and lots of locations. I don't. And other than kind of drawers like that one that I showed you there, and there's some drawers like this one where it's just odds and sods. Most of them are not, what do you call it, consolidated? I know I've seen like Pop's Box Shop, he has an awful lot of different pieces in each drawer, and he's got an awful lot of room for a just short of 1 million part store. So yeah, horses for courses, I guess. It depends on how you like picking. This has definitely been quicker to pick the more locations you've got, but I've always been trying to offset that with being able to have volume of things that will move fast and well. So I hope that explains it. If you've any more questions on that, or comments on my madness, feel free. Well, it's almost midday, or just gone past midday to be honest, and it's been a bit of a stressful morning. Well, stressful, me just getting angry with people on the phone, it seems. Had a call from DIA Global, who are pretty much the importer and the company that owns the absolute world's worst delivery company, Aramax, and I'm sure you all feel that pain. Anyway, telling me that 3 orders have been stuck at customs because of their value exceeded 1,000 Australian dollars. So that import duties would be owed. Interesting, because I don't place orders that big, and usually because you're getting gifts with purchases, they're usually quite low. Anyway, luckily LEGO had not put any tracking numbers in any of their orders, and I had no idea which order was which to which DIA, as you can imagine. Supremely helpful. Not. Anyway, web chat with a bot, then a web chat with a human, and then 2 conversations with a human at LEGO who just seemed to want to talk as opposed to actually listen. Got to the point where I had a list of tracking numbers, was able to align them to my own orders, which none of them were over $260, as opposed to what were the values that they were? There we go. 1,690, 1,280, and what was the other one? 1,460 and 22. Order values actual. If I could focus for a minute, that would be useful. Can't focus. Hang on, let's try again. No, it's not doing it, is it? Oh, come on, there you go. The actual order totals. So, somewhat below $1,000, which is annoying, isn't it? But there we are. LEGO are going to take 3 days to sort that out. I've sent DIA a very short, terse email about that, wanting tax receipts and screen grabs for your bank account, which seems to be a bit of an overreach to me, but anyway. In amongst that, I did finish the part out, as you've been seeing, which is 1 down. This one will account for, hang on a minute, there's a lot of back and forth this morning, isn't there? What is it? 1,000, that's not going to focus, man alive, what's going on? There we go. 1,218 parts of the 2,000 and something we had to hit. What was it? Where is it? There it is. 2,317 we need to hit. So we're 1,100 short, but I've got other things I need to be getting along with, and this focus thing's annoying me now. How do you get it back to just normal focus? Hang on. There we are. Quit it, start again. Yeah, I'm just in a bad mood now. So I'm going to finish putting this lot away, and then I'm actually going to do some cleaning. Therapy. No, it needs done. I need to dust and hoover and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that, and then if there's time at the end of the day, I might come back and do C3PO. I can't remember how many parts he was, but I think we'll be short, wouldn't we? If it was 2,300, 1,200 there. How many was C3PO again? I can't remember. How many are you, my little fella? Oh no, he's 1,100, so that would probably get us pretty damn close if I can get him done. We shall see. Wait there. We will return to you after I've done the chores. Anyway, there's 1 order coming for 2 horses. That's it. So the Tumbleweed Monday continues, but at least that wasn't too bad to do. A few nice bits in it that I've not seen before. If I can find them now. Space Baby. Not Space Babies, just babies. They're not a bad price. There was a couple of little handly things. I've not seen those things. Not seen those before. There was something else. Can't remember what it was now. Nope, it's gone. Can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to get the PSX file finished. I'm going to part out the minifigures on this rather than put them in as wholes. Just going to part them out. It will add a few lots to the store as well, which is good. Much need, given that we're at the lowest we've been for a long time. Anyway, let's get this done. Okay, Monday afternoon and the cleaning is done. Bit of a sweat fest, but 3 orders have trickled in through the day. Very, very quiet. End of the month, big sets out on the 1st, so a couple more days. But yeah, a couple of horses in that one. Nay problems. 4 of those in bright green. And I have no idea where I got those from because they only seem to appear in 1 set. and I've got 6 more of these, so I've no idea where they came from. But yeah, there you go. And 5 flat silver revolvers, and that's that. So we'll get those packed up, added to the pile for tomorrow, and then I might call it a day. We are 1,000. I didn't do any more parting out, so we're short of this month's target unless a delivery order arrives tomorrow night. I can get it in, but other than that, everything else was like the C3PO is like 260 odd lots. That's a lot of cups. And the other one that I can't remember now. Oh, my mind's gone blank. Oh, if I was going to do a whole bunch of Star Wars sets, actually getting the quantity of parts was proving nigh on impossible as well. So I'm just going to admit that we didn't hit the target this month, but we were closed for a week. So there's no crying shame in not quite reaching target. As we tick along into October. Wow, and we are in week 40. So there are literally just 12 weeks after this until the end of the year. So all guns blazing to see how far we can carry this along into December and beyond. So I shall possibly be back tomorrow, even though I always say I don't work Tuesdays, and then I do for whatever reason. But we'll see how we crack along. And if some orders arrive tomorrow, oh, that would be good, because then we might get towards a target. If not, we'll start again for October and see what that does to the numbers. See you tomorrow. Okay, we are at Wednesday. I did pick 3 last night, and then the other 4, 5 this morning. That seems a lot. Maybe that was different. Anyway, they're all very small orders. A couple of them very interesting, but generally fairly small. 1st of October, obviously massive launch of sets online last night. The Death Star, the Christmas range, the train, the tree, the oversized Santa, probably a whole heap of other things as well. So I think that's kind of reflected in sales, to be honest. I think people have just got money that they've got to be spending elsewhere, end of the month. Yeah, so we will see how the month pans out. And I will look at what September was like in a little while, as well as doing this week's store report, where I try and figure out how everyone's been doing. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, small, medium azure, dark green parts in there. Mixture of odds and sods in that one, from black to dark blue to tan, dark tan even, and some white, lots of curves. Poly bag, stroke paper bag, and a few animals in that one. Dungeons and Dragons, whatever he is, the like Dracula thing with the rat in that one, and the rat from him over there, and a singular flat silver little ear thing. A whole lot of dark blue grey slopes and curved slopes, even tiles, odds and sods in that one. Knights, this one, very colourful, great fun picking that one. Good little parts thrown in as well. Small parts order of just plates and domes, very classic space perhaps, that one, as is this one, I would suggest. Or it could be Anakin's Y-wing, A-wing, Y-wing, what did he have? He had something, didn't he? Could be that. Those yellow slopes, fairly rare, and those are the last 2 that I have. Only 3 things this morning added to the wanted list. I've done the rest, and other than that, it's just been kind of getting on with work, and some work, of which those of you that have been before will know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, as ever, juggling everything, trying to get it all done in the time out there. So I'll get all this stuff ready, get it off to the post office, and then jump into my own end of month reporting and the store report. Okay, Friday morning, just gone 10 a.m. Picking is done. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But there's been a few little updates overnight from Bricklink themselves, which are very worth mentioning. In count integration, and more commonly, more specifically even, store name updates, We've heard questions about store names, and whilst we're still working on a plan, we want you to know that we're committed to minimising changes and helping you keep your store name. We understand this is a big part of your identity on Bricklink, and we'll let you know as soon as we have an update. So unless they are going to go back and change their T's and C's around IP, personal information and stuff like that, I don't really see how they get out of this cardboard box that they've put themselves in, but we will wait and see. And the other thing was one that I didn't think they would take on, colour guide. So the catalogue team is preparing to launch a new mobile-friendly version of the colour guide. That'll be interesting. Featuring new filtering and sorting options, as well as addition of LEGO colour names. So alignment with Brick Owl in terms of kind of dark stone and the like, which will cause pandemonium if they just switch across, I'm telling you. So look out early October. It is the 3rd of October, people. You've only just sent out the email. Maybe you should have thought of that sooner. Sorry, I got interrupted there by LEGO customer service ringing me back on the DIA/Aramax. Shit, sure. Still not released those parcels. Was that Monday? Monday that I was dealing with that? Oh, I can't even remember now. Anyway, it is ridiculous. So no tracking numbers, incorrect values, and you go back and forth, people saying we've raised it as an issue. Can you send us a screenshot? No, I bloody can't. I spent 3 hours trying to sort that out earlier in the week without actually achieving very little. So anyway, boils my blood on the morning. 10:05, 10:10, what are we now? Oh yeah, 10:10, already wound up. It's not good, is it? There's been 8 orders in since, what's that, Tuesday night? No, we're now Friday. It is quiet. I mean, obviously there was a big dump of sets, big expensive sets, big exciting sets that I'd love to be buying, but I'm not. At this stage anyway. And so 8 orders in, all fairly pretty cool orders. 10 all the way in that one. Some spacemen off to New Zealand in that one. Right old mixed bag of everything and all sorts in that one. Lots of colourful stuff. Regular buyer, that one. A domestic letter, so thus the bricks are clipped together so they fit in the envelope. I don't like doing it, but I'm not playing Jenga for an order like that. Someone rebuilding the Scout Trooper head, no doubt. The piece is familiar from having recently built it, and the instructions for that fella up there going out the door, which is good. This one is off to the States, clearing me out of black and dark tan ladders, and then a whole load of minifigure parts, quite random, but the second order to the States since Zonos has been up and running. Both buyers so far have been absolutely fine, so yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way that's gone so far. I did think last night after I'd done it that obviously currency fluctuations will come into this, because that first order that went to the States still not has been invoiced from Zonos. So really you're at the whim of financial trading markets in terms of whether or not you've covered the value accurately or not. So we'll see how that transpires over the next week or so when that first one arrives, and we'll, I think the US dollar is fairly buoyant at the moment after the Commander and Clown managed to get the government shut down so he can clear out all the people that disagree with him. But we'll see how that goes in terms of financial monetary policy, or whatever that would class as. I feel like I've sold this thing before, but headpiece, just the one. And then this one is probably the oldest sitting around. Whole load of trans clear stuff and odds and sods in there as well. So all the packaging, labels and everything are done for that, so that's pretty good. The other thing I was going to mention, Rob from Brickyard Down Under reached out with clarification on the insider points if you are operating as a business, and it has been added to the terms and conditions on the 29th of September, which is after I had ChatGPT scrape it and kind of check it. So yes, if you are a corporation or a business, so if you are registered with an ABN number, you will not be eligible for VIP points on lego.com purchases if that email is linked to your Bricklink account. So you're going to have to set up a separate Lego account to continue getting VIP points. They do clarify that no VIP points will be available for purchases on Bricklink. Anyone that thought that was going to happen has been smoking the pipe. But it does, I couldn't find it before, but there it was. So thanks, Rob, for reaching out on that front. Bit of a shocker, I reckon. They've kind of quietly snuck that one under the radar. It has been a bit of a stinker of a time for them in terms of communication, I reckon. We're getting pretty low on the 1813-6 mini boxes. The wife's shelf labelling going on, so I've just placed a new order for those. I often get asked where I order from. There's a couple of places. I used to order from Ozpack, but their shipping is daylight robbery unless you can collect. If you're in Sydney, you could probably do click and collect with them. There is another company called Stanley Packaging. I know Noah over at the Brick Shed is a big fan of those, and other stores have used them in the past as well. They do good direct freight express for a very reasonable price, less than half the price of Australia Post or Star Trek. And there is another company on eBay which Shannon from Every Little Brick kind of put me onto, saying that he got great deals on there. I haven't actually found their shipping to be as reasonable as Stanley Packaging, is the long and the short of that. Maybe if you were ordering an awful lot, that would come down, but because I was only ordering the one box type, that's where we were. So that's done, and we're kind of at the slow end of the month, the painful bit where your fees are all due, need to be paid, and sales are slow. So yeah, that's depressing. Not really. Some chains have come in and an order which I need to sort and add to the store, so that's on the job list for this morning. And then I might have a little tackle of some of those small sets that are lying around and just part them out. I don't know, see how I feel. Still not feeling the flashiest from the virus that I've had for the last week and a half, is it? Yeah, still pretty wiped by that. But in other news, it's the longest I've gone without a beer for a long, long time. Anyway, details you didn't want to know or need to know. So let's get all of this stuff packed up for the postage and then move on to putting those parts away. And I'll show you the BSX file once we're done with that. Okay, Friday afternoon, 1:15. I had an interesting one. One of those parcels that I sent to America has come back. Apparently I didn't set up Zonos correctly. They ask you for an APCN number, but what they really need is an APBCN number, which is the business one versus the personal one. Very, very shoddy kind of setup instructions. So I had to reply for a refund on the postage that's now come back. Their excuse was the customs declaration wasn't filled in correctly, but both the HS tariff number, the COO, and the value were there. So their details not matching up with the system, which is frustrating for me and the buyer. So I reached out to them to kind of update them, and we'll get that back out the door to them. Anyway, those parts away, 591, 19 lots, 251.94 worth of value. It was 1, 2, maybe 6 or so lots that were new to the store, but not a great deal. And to be honest, I've done the wanted lists and I'm feeling fairly sluggish. Fairly sluggish. I had a look at those potential part outs and changed my mind. So I might just rest up for the rest of the afternoon, to be honest, and try and feel better heading into next week, which is going to be a crazy one for a number of reasons, which we'll get to next week. But for now, unless any orders come in, I'm probably going to knock it on the head for the day and regroup tomorrow. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday morning. Is it still morning? Yes, it's only 10:30. 4 orders in overnight, 3 of them fairly small. This one with some Mindstorm stickers, which is from that store purchase way back when, and a couple of light grey parts. The biggest order is a whole heap of black stuff, a whole load of dark red, and then some other bits and pieces in between. That clearly the biggest order we've had for a little while, which is good. Did go out and about yesterday, actually to the supermarket, and they had a whole box of these, although I think somebody had cleared out one of them, the blonde-haired lady, which I think is one of the figures. So I managed to pick up those, the one with that, and the wolfy one, but not the blonde-haired lady, which I think is one of these figures. I'm going to open up one. Let's just do that now while I've got you. Let's get the little instructions. They're not made for open with one hand. What's that one? Ooh. It's got like a plastic shieldy thing. Cape. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I'm going to get a box of these for parting out, but yeah, these were at the supermarket at Woolworths, which they often are. Oh no, I did get her. Alright, so they've all got kind of interchangeable head pieces. Yeah, they had all of them, so I need to go back and double check. This one looked cool on the with the helmet on. This one looks really cool, so I might have to go back and sort that out in a little bit, but that's cool. This one's particularly cool, isn't it? Anyway, managed to grab the best of the bunch for that one, which is good. But we will get those into the store today. I think I got 3 of each, of maybe 2 of that one. 3 maybe, don't know. I'll have a look, and we'll have a look at the BSX file once it's done. But that's where we're at for Saturday. So that's all ready to go. There was a missed delivery this morning, even though I'm here. The frustration of deliveries this week. Anyway, that DIA Aramex delivery actually arrived yesterday afternoon and was put into the store. That was another 4,000 parts that went in, which is decent after a bit of a slow week. Good to be picking back up the pace on the uploads after the trip to New Zealand, but these will help kind of add a little bit of interest, I think, hopefully anyway. So I'll get this wrapped up and then break these down and we'll have a look. Okay, 12 figures in all. Couple of the ones with the baby, 3, 11, 2 of those, hang on, confused, 11, 3 of those, 3 of the wolfy one, 3 of the horsey one, pretty cool, and then 2 of the female one, whatever that is, and 2 of that one, which has got that kind of plastic cape, which is pretty cool. So yeah, just a few to add in there. Now I've spotted that they all have 2 heads. That kind of changes again because there's another one that's actually kind of up at the top end of the value, which if I'm going, I need to get some tea bags, so that could be a little bit of a drive-by scoop up in a bit when I go to the post office. But that's it for the day. Pretty much got some work that I need to be doing, so I'm going to plow into that and wrap this up, get the vlog online for the members so they get it early, and I will see you back here next week for more of this little adventure. Strange week all in all. Has felt kind of very slow, certainly the beginning of the week. Definitely not the volume of orders going through for the start of the month. Whether your experience of that is reflected, love to hear in the comments down below. And any questions or topics or things for a return of the chit chat next week, again, leave them down below and I will cover that off. If not, we don't need to do it, it's fine. So thanks for watching, have a good weekend.